Check, check. Hello, hello, hello. Are we on there? Yeah. Hello, hello. Good. Okay. when the day breaks, when the sun goes down, I can hear the song of the wind. When the sun goes down, and I pray for peace, and I look to the light. When the sun goes down, I pray for peace. We call all the ancestors, and I mean all of them, to come and help us celebrate this good work. All our ancestors from the east and the west and the south and the north, and to understand that all of our ancestors are all connected to each other. Can I see you nod your head? Can you go, mm-hmm? All of our ancestors, despite what shell we are in right now, are all here. Are all here. And they are all connected. All the stuff that separates us, our ancestors, they don't got time for that. They don't got time, they're all there. And so we pour out our hearts and our libations and our thanks to all of our ancestors. Can I see you nod your head? Amen. Can I see you nod your head and say yes? Yes. 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 It is so good to be faithful fools.
Welcome, faithful fools. Welcome to all of you gathered here, and thank you, Melanie, for calling the ancestors, because there are many. Not only is Kay Jorgensen become an ancestor in these 25 years, but many, many people from within our community. I'd like to especially just thank this congregation, and especially Jonathan and Eric and Susanna and Vanessa and all who have made it possible for us to be here. As many of you know, this is where Kay was social justice minister, and so this is where we began walking down the hill and walking back up the hill, and so it's a special place for us all. So we've planned a program, and it ended there, so whatever happens, it's up to us. Kay used to say, for those of you who remember, she was a mime and clown before she was a minister. And so what she would say is, her teacher always said, no matter what happens in a program, end with confetti. So we really are. So just to give you a little tonight, so our plan is to have the program in here, and then afterwards move into the Thomas Starr King room at the other end, and Andrea Jorgensen and Eric Jorgensen and many others have prepared food, so there's wonderful food there, and a gluten-free cake and a regular big cake and much to share. So we hope that you'll let go. You can take your watches off and just give away. We're in a timeless space right now. So just thank you all for being here with us, and may it be a grand night.
And I just would like to introduce Carmen Barsotti in case. I met Carmen Barsotti about a dozen years ago, and I've been a fool ever since. I want to thank you too. You know, I was telling people earlier, I know we send out invitations, but I always have this thought of like people say, yeah, I'll come, and then like we would be doing this by ourselves. Sort of like the pandemic experience, only this is so much better. You're here. Yeah. So would you turn to somebody right next to you and just say, thank you for being here? Yeah, absolutely. And I want to thank Skywatchers. I want to just tell you, Skywatchers are our best friends and our best neighbors, and we are just so grateful to have you here tonight. Yeah, Skywatchers. And we have some other performers in the house, other friends in the house, and I just want to thank each and every one of them as they appear. You will notice just how much energy they have brought to us, and you will want to give them back as much energy as they give you, because this is, you guessed it, our 25th year, and we're ready for young adulthood. So welcome everybody to our 25th year.
So I forgot to say that just this evening, Melissa from our supervisor, Dean Preston's office, arrived and brought us a certificate of honor from the Board of Supervisors for the Faithful Fools' 25th anniversary. And it says, in recognition of Faithful Fools' long-term commitment to building community through meaningful relationships, for lifting up companionship and care to fight against isolation, for bringing awareness and understanding of the social conditions in the Tenderloin through a robust arts and education program. And on the occasion of its 25th anniversary, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors extends its highest commendation. So, thank you, Melissa. Sure.
So you know, it took them 25 years to figure out what it meant when somebody stood at the podium and said, hi, I'm John, or I'm Sam, or I'm Carmen, and I'm a fool. They finally figured it out and gave us a certificate.
So, as we do at many occasions, and especially at our street retreats, we're going to read our mission statement together, and it is in your program, so hopefully all of you have one of these magnificent programs that Sam designed.
Can you share?
If you don't have one, or if somebody can bring some in, I know we have a lot of them here, so there's out on the table. But what we like to do when we read the mission statement is often at least when I read something, I notice that sometimes there's a word or there's a phrase or there's something that just has me pause in my mind as I'm reading. So we would like to read this together and pay attention to what part tonight gives a little bit more of a ding when you're saying it or reading it. And then what we'd like you to do, I'll invite you to turn to the person next to you and just say that phrase or that word. So let's say this together. We are called to a life of presence that acknowledges each human's incredible worth. Aware of our judgments, we seek to meet people where they are through the arts, education, advocacy, and accompaniment. We participate in shattering myths about those living in poverty, seeing the light, courage, intelligence, strength, and creativity of the people we encounter. We discover on the streets our common humanity, through which celebration, community, and healing occur. So just take a moment and say to the person next to you which word or phrase spoke to you tonight. We'll just take a second.
one of Kay's favorite songs was this one that we're going to do together. And I will be adding a little bit of sauce here with some stick pounding in it. You all know it. I expect there to be harmonies and grand, foolish merrymaking. Goes like this. This little light of mine, come on now, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Deep down in my heart, harmony is good. Deep down in my heart, you know. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world right here, all around the world, you know. You know that all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's pick it up. Here we go. This little light of mine, come on. I'm shine. You know that this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it One more time, I don't believe you. This little light of mine, gonna let it shine. You know that this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Yes.
Hi, everybody. They invited me to come and talk to you about the clowns. Well, actually, they didn't invite me to come and talk about the clowns because some people think I talk too fast and I'm hard to understand. Okay. So, Carmen was talking about Kay's clown and Oscar the clown. And the clowns are important to the Faithful Fools because sometimes things are really hard to think about and talk about. And sometimes a clown can help you think about it or talk about it a little bit differently. And so that's part of why we started all sorts of different... Wait a second. What's going on over here? Yeah, yes, I'm talking to you. What happened?
Is there a problem?
Well, you can't put a tent up here. This isn't where a tent belongs.
Why not? Seems like a great place. It's beautiful here. This is the best place we've ever put up a tent. We're not bothering anyone.
But this is a church. You can't just put a tent here in the church.
We have any right to exist here.
But it's going to get in people's way, right? It's going to get in people's way.
I think everyone has plenty of space.
But I mean, look at this building. It's so beautiful. It's perfect. Nobody thought let's have a tent. I mean, it's going to be kind of ugly, I think.
I know, it gives us privacy.
Sorry.
But yeah, well, but is it safe? I mean, is it sanitary?
Did you say sanitary?
Oh, yeah.
We clean up after ourselves just fine.
But what if they have to go to the bathroom?
I mean, we do what anybody does. There's bathrooms down the hall. We go to the bathroom in the bathroom.
Oh.
Jeez.
But what if you get hungry and you start cooking inside and then you light it on fire? It's definitely not safe. You can't have a tent here.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to cook our food here. You're right. We won't do that.
Okay.
But we do need to eat.
Well, they're going to have a feast down here. Why don't you come and we'll get you into the feast, and everybody else, you stay here. We're going to get them a chance to get some food right now.
All right, so you're saying it's down. Should we follow you?
Follow me. Come on. Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, here, come on. Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, just keep going. Just keep going. Oh, I forgot something. Hold on. Hey, no, yeah, I'll catch up with you. Hey, will you come with me? Here, you come on. Come help me. Come on out. Yeah, come on out. Okay, so we're gonna take this, and we're gonna get it out of here right now. What?
You just tricked us.
Oh, but you had to go do something else, so I thought I could just come and, get the tent out of the way and...
Hey, man, look around. This is our community. I mean, there's Carmen, Andrea, Sam, Jack, Betsy. We got Martha, Sandy. Oh. We learn a lot about ourselves around our community. And you know what, man? I'm learning a lot about you right now. And I think we have a little song for you. I want to invite my friend Max to come up too. So just wait, and you can sing along too.
I don't have a very good singing voice. People nobody wants to hear me sing.
You ready? Max, thanks. Did you bring your flute? All right, friends. Deep breath. You ready? All right, let's play it through once, okay? Here we go. C, F. Here we go.
California, Turkin High, love that purple building sign, not the way I love the faithful fools. Well, holy moly, me oh my, reddish nose between my eyes,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I almost forgot.
Ready, fam? We are sky watchers. We are sky watchers. We are sky watchers. See us rising, see us flying. We are sky watchers. We are truth tellers. We are truth tellers. We are truth tellers. Hear our words, hear our song. We are truth tellers. We are love warriors. We are love warriors. We are love warriors. Heart to heart, here we stand. We are love warriors. We are sky watchers. We are sky watchers. We are sky watchers. See us rising, see us flying. We are sky watchers.
There is nothing sadder than a solitary tree. Forest trees speak through pheromones, wafting on the breeze, laden with meaning. They care for each other, belong to each other.
Wood Wide Web, Wood Wide Web, Wood Wide Web, Wood Wide Web, like an underground railroad, like the underground railroad, like an underground railroad, like an underground Wood Wide Web. Magnify magnificence, magnify magnificence, Magnify, 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 magnificence. World Wide Web, World Wide Web. Rise up from the ground. Rise up from the ground. Rise up from the ground. World Wide Web, World Wide Web. A fallen tree is not something dead to be removed. It is an enormous, living, affordable housing complex replete with ample food and lodging and support services and protection, securing the future diversity and growth of the forest into which it falls. All nourishing and flourishing is mutual. World Wide Web, like an underground World Wide Web, like an magnify magnificence, magnify magnificence. World Wide Web, World Wide Web. Rise up from the ground. 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 Rise up. Skywatchers! Skywatchers!
Now comes the sermon. Thank you, Skywatchers, and all. Faithful fools, to be about building a community of people working together for personal and social change. That is what Kay and I said we wanted to be about. And last week I was walking down Eddy Street and I was feeling a bit low at the state of things. I was just thinking about how rough things really are and at so many levels in our world, in people's lives, in the neighborhood. Seemingly, St. Francis of Assisi said to his brothers once, "Let us begin again, because up to now we've made no progress." I'm not sure what kind of mood Francis was in when he said it, but it seemed fitting at that moment. As I walked, I thought about this approaching celebration, and I asked myself, "What are you celebrating, Carmen?" And the immediate response that came was fidelity. 25 years isn't really that long in the scheme of things. Yet we know a moment can be a whole lifetime. Just like a word in a poem can tell a whole story. In these 25 years, there's been many lifetimes and many stories. And Kay Jorgensen, how I wish you were here at this moment to see all these beautiful faces and people. Many who never even have met her, and yet she is here. You are present in your children, Andrea and Eric, who are here with us today. You are present in this sanctuary where you often spoke and did some truth-telling. and you're present in the hearts of all of us. Faithful Fools, two people who both started out our lives in central Minnesota in very contrasting circumstances. We met at BB's coffee shop right up the block here that is no longer there. And we decided we had some work together. And I was here just on sabbatical from Nicaragua. And as often happens, when one comes to San Francisco, they never leave. Kay at first was never really excited to meet me because she had had her fill of really nice people who wanted to come and help the homeless. And without ever saying the words, she was maybe the first one who consciously revealed the quote of Lila Watson that we read with most any person or group that comes to walk and learn with Faithful Fools. If you have come to help me, don't waste your time. If you have come because your liberation, your well-being is bound up with mine, then let us work together. We founded the Fools, or more like the Fools founded us, and are continually founding. We walked the streets of San Francisco, both the Tenderloin, and early on we spent many days in the Haight and in Golden Gate Park. We walked with communities in Nicaragua, where I lived with my Franciscan community for 7 years before coming here. And since 1998, more than 10,000 people have walked with us on street retreats with Faithful Fools, here in the Tenderloin, in their hometowns with Alex Starr, in Nicaragua, youth and adults from all over. How many of you here have made a street retreat? Raise your hand high. Many of you. We say that the street retreats were our opening act, a foundational form of action and reflection, and to strengthen our next action with that reflection. It is a form for how we consciously seek to work and walk every day. People from all walks of life have come from their homes, from the streets, from educational institutions, many of you here today, from their residential hotel rooms to make a retreat in the heart of the city, bringing our spiritual practices or our claimed social values in direct relationship with the social realities. It is a time of reflection to clarify those actions. Kay would often remind us, our reflection needs to be as intense as our actions. The people, the streets, the story, they are mirrors that reflect back to us who we are, or maybe who we aren't, what we're doing, or maybe what we're not doing. We walk the streets with our mantra, which is printed in your program, which says, "What holds me separate," say it with me if you know it, "What holds me separate, what keeps me separated, as I walk the streets, what still connects me." A street retreat is not instant enlightenment or an end in itself. It is an effort to enlarge our hearts by, as Martha Bosing wrote in a play, an effort to enlarge our hearts by poking holes in our assumptions, our judgments, and fears. It's a call to action. We printed in our very first brochure in 1998 the quote, "Fools see the world in all its glorious absurdity and act on what they see." And that is what I celebrate with you tonight. This is a sanctuary full of people who care. People who long to be faithful to the long and arduous work required to create a more just and equitable world. And I say thank you. I say thank you also to Sam Dennison, who appeared in 2012 and brought forth our Institute for Street Level Learning. And Leah, a couple years ago, printed up a little certificate, and we, as a team, presented Sam as the Dean of the Institute of Street Level Learning. I say thank you to our team now and every team before, to our board now and every board before, and to all of you for showing up tonight, and all of you who are on the screen watching us also. Because I don't know about you, but I needed a little celebration in life. So let's celebrate. So our next piece is by Rebecca Noon. It's a play called The Witness. And Martha Bosing, who is here tonight, wrote this play in 2001 after making some street retreats, taking reflections others had written from street retreats, and it's like 55-minute play. So you're only going to get about 10 minutes. So you will meet Tracy, but you won't meet George, who's her activist friend, and Aunt Wendy, who is her southern aunt, who just tells her to stay away from those homeless people because they're dangerous. So we're just going to give you a little glimpse of the play today. And Rebecca flew in from Minnesota. And early on, especially Alex Starr and I were the two primary people who we drove all over the place. And this play was presented in more UU churches and general assemblies and stages in Minnesota and many places that it was just a fantastic moment from 2003 to 2006. So as Rebecca says, it was 20 years ago. She's 20 years older than she did this now. So the play is presented in sections based on the ox herding pictures of Zen Buddhism. So, Rebecca.
Number 1. The fool sees a poor man. She knows something is wrong, but she doesn't know how to fix it. Greed and fear, good and bad, entangle her. Well, I come down here on Sundays. One Sunday a month. I drive down to the Tenderloin, where there's this really wonderful little church, and I help give out food to the homeless people there. And it really makes me feel like I am doing something. You know, I don't like walking through the neighborhood very much. I don't feel safe. There's people sleeping right there on the concrete sidewalk in the middle of the day, and you have to step over them, and there's all this garbage, and I just don't belong in this neighborhood. And once there was this man down at the soup kitchen, and he was telling me about a group of women who lived in the Tenderloin and called themselves the Faithful Fools. Well, I thought it was a really funny name, so I asked him, what do they do? And he said, they're a street ministry. And I said, oh, do they hand out blankets? And he said, no, they lead street retreats. They take people like you and me into the streets to hang out and talk with people, to bear witness to the homelessness. Well, I wouldn't feel very comfortable doing something like that. I said, walking through the streets like that. And also, it just sounds kind of foolish to me. And he said, it is kind of foolish. He said, they're trying to poke holes in the way we look at reality, and only fools do that. Number 5. The fool talks with a ministry of fools who tell her that through delusion, one makes everything untrue. Hello, my friend. Are you needing something, a hat, or some tea, or a song, or some string? Is this the faithful fools? Why, yes. Yes, it is. It says here the same. Glad to make your acquaintance. What's your name? Tracy? I was wondering why you do these things called street retreats. It seems strange. You just talk to people? I'm a friendly old bloke. I like talking to folk. But is it helping anyone? Helping. That's not exactly what it's about. What do you like to do to help people out? Well, sometimes I go to the little church on the corner and I help give out food to the homeless people there. That's a nice thing to do. You help them to eat. And if people are hungry, that's no little feat. But we call that a Band-Aid, not a real remedy. We fools want to change the way people see. So we bring them all out from all over the nation, push them over the line with no explanation. We mix them all up, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad, the dirty and the clean, the kind and the mean. We mix them all up. No answers, no rations. Then sometimes they see people sleeping in doorways. Instead of in old ways, they see them in new ways. Then the boundaries fall down, and there's no separation. Do you always talk in rhyme? I'm just an old fool, out of sync with the time. Since I'm not very schooled, I find it simpler to rhyme. How about you? Think it's cool? Well, yes, sort of. My friend George says we have to understand why people are sleeping in doorways and then change the whole structure of everything. Well, he's right, but how? Who's changing things now? We think things will change with political clout or a lot of money or a loud enough shout. But has anything made this hunger depart? Perhaps we begin by changing the heart. You come out on the streets with us one day. You'll see for yourself in your own way. I wouldn't feel very comfortable doing something like that. What are you thinking might happen to you? They might hurt me. They might rob me too. Oh dear, now I'm doing it. Ah, yes, anywhere strangers, kind of dangerous. It's just that it's safer there in my neighborhood. The people are more normal. I mean, I'm just really different from a lot of the people out here. A lot of them are on drugs. Folks in the streets doing drugs. understood, just like the people in your neighborhood. But where do they come to get their drugs from? They come get them here, where no one is known. Take them back to their office, their fancy home. People here have to smoke in the streets. You can see the rocks in their pipes. They can't be discreet. The people I know don't smoke crack. Crack is the cheap way. People who come from other places can afford pricey drugs and hide their faces. They come down in their limos, their fancy black Lincolns in from the suburbs in clean clothes and linens. They pick up their cocaine for their fantasies, their marijuana, their ecstasy. People who have to live on the street sound pretty messed up. Yeah, pretty messed up. But people with money are messed up too. We're all messed up, Tracy. Even me. Even you. But their lives are so unhappy, they have no home to go back to. So you have always had a home to go back to. But was there someone there always who was loving to you? No. Not always. So, you know what it is to be lonely then, don't you? Most folks on the streets are lonely too. So come out with us, Tracy. Come out on the street. Come see who you meet. They might be poor and they might be racy. But then again, you just might meet Tracy. And sometimes we take ourselves seriously. Sometimes we are just like that. But when things get oh so important, we have to put on the hat. Number 6, she goes on a street retreat and talks with the people who live there. Why did I come here? Everything is so dirty. All the buildings and the people are so dirty. I just want to find a place to sit down. I don't want to look at anybody. Oh no. Oh, it's starting to rain. I don't have my trench coat or my umbrella or anything. Oh, there's a woman and she's signaling for me to come over. Tonight I'll have a warm place to go back to and she won't. But I'm going over to her place anyway. She's laying out some newspaper on the sidewalk under a fire escape for me. Thank you. She's handing me a cup of warm water and telling me to hold it in my hands to warm them up. I'm feeling the steam on my face. Nice. I asked her when she first came to San Francisco. And she says 15 years ago when she retired from her job in the South. But then she says in the last few years, rents got so high she had to move onto the streets. I can't believe people like her end up this way, but she said sometimes it's really not so bad. She's talking to everyone who passes by. It's like she's my grandmother having people over for tea or something. All of a sudden, everything seems so weird. Then she takes out this grimy purple macrame blanket and wraps it around our shoulders. And we're just sitting there, being cozy. And then she asks me, "You got a boyfriend?" And there I am, telling her how Mark and I broke up a couple of weeks ago, and how I thought we were going to be together our whole lives. But he never had enough time for me, only work, work, work. But I know I messed up too. I was always so needy. And now, sometimes I think no one is ever going to love me again. Ever. And then, she reaches out and touches my face with the back of her hand. Very gently. Like she's my grandmother or something. And then I just feel, it's like there was some invisible curtain, but now I'm on the other side. Number 7. All is one, not two. The fool travels down one path of clear light through endless time. Thank you.
It's time to hold everybody up. Now, Skywatchers knows this song. Hands up. And when we say the word up, up, sing as loud as you can. You go right along with me. Sing with me. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody. And then we clap. Just because you look like you and I look like me, it doesn't mean we can't be friends. You're not my enemy. So we gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up, hold everybody up, 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 hold everybody up, 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 hold everybody up, 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 hold everybody up. And then we clap. People all around the world sometimes feel so sad. But when others show they care, well, things don't seem so bad. So we gotta hold. Come on now. We gotta hold everybody up. We gotta hold everybody. We gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold everybody up, up, up. Hold, big finish. The up, up, up. Hold everybody up.
Yo aprendí pa' que me dieras tu querer, a cantar con alma, vida y corazón. Aprendí el nandaimeño a cómo es y a bailar aquel solar de Monimbo. Zapateaba al compás de mucho son y hasta pude hacerme amar de doña Inés. Pero yo estaba loco por tu amor y en mis cuentas era mío tu querer. Los recedos florearon y mi amor se llevaron y los mayos volvieron sin voz. Y tu risa de seda, minga rosa pineda, yo no sé qué camino tomó.
Hi. I want to do this song for all of the faithful fools and all of us who have at times felt disconnected and unseen and just wanted to be seen as real human beings. And this song, to me, always reminds me of that. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the skies open up the skyways, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I over the rainbow?
That was always a risk putting me in front of a microphone. It's midnight, Joe. You have to stop. My name's Joe Wilson. I'm the executive director of Hospitality House, and I'm an apprentice fool. I did want to share some reflection about Kay Jorgensen. I met Kay a while ago. I was working at Coleman Advocates for Children and Youth. It was, I think, 98 or 99. It was a few years after federal welfare reform. And the state of California had just recently adopted its own state version of the federal welfare repeal. And in case your memory's a little faulty, welfare reform was never about work and public assistance. It was always about controlling the reproductive options of poor women, especially poor black women. That was a disturbing example here locally when a young woman that was introduced to me by Kay, the law said that if a welfare recipient had additional children while they were on aid, the additional children would not be covered by federal welfare assistance. This is part of the contract on America during the Republican years. Anyway, this particular young woman that Kay introduced me to, her contraceptive failed. She had triplets, and none of those children were going to be covered with additional support for the family. So Kay had this idea that even when it seems like your country has turned its back on you, we will not turn our backs on each other. So she embarked upon this crusade on behalf of this young woman, and we raised money. She contacted everyone she knew, every church, and faith institution in San Francisco. Long story short, she managed to put together an assistance package for this young woman, totally voluntary. No public dollars were used. And we managed to provide support for this young woman for a little more than 2 years until her children could actually get into an infant and toddler program where she can get additional support for her family. And I have to say that it was a lesson for me about foolishness. And Kay had the ability to simply touch people with the power of her will and her belief in the luminous capacity of the human spirit. This piece I'm going to read is not designed to be uplifting. It is a disturbing reminder of the effects of gun violence in our society, and particularly how ravaging and devastating it can be in communities of color. And I hope that it'll at least be food for thought, this piece entitled 7-Letter Words. Malcolm, Trayvon, Breonna. Handgun, weapons, bullets, gunshot, unarmed, teenage, murders, racists, defends, upholds, protect, lawyers, answers, nothing, no thing, objects, inhuman, ignores, witness, account, useless, falsify, testify, justify, outrage, protest, agitate, revolts, explode, failure, beliefs, silence, tremble, mothers, fathers, feeling, tearful, swallow, painful, sadness, anguish, despair, imagine, inspire, hopeful, changes, respect, rebuild, restore, courage, liberty, freedom, history, journey, coroner, autopsy, sermons, another, colored, funeral, burials, justice, America, repeats, repeats. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And I just want to say this has been an evening of talent and love and presence of such a remarkable community of people. We've had joy, we've had dance, such a beautiful dance. We've had good words, amazing music. And now we're coming to a moment of sort of closing our reflections a little bit, but I wanted to go back to something that Carmen said. She said, 25 years really isn't a lot in the scheme of things. But I want to remind you, Carmen, that when you and Kay started Faithful Fools, it was in the 1900s. It was a different century. Oh, it was a different millennia. Maybe it's a blink of an eye. Maybe it's a flash in the pan. But maybe it's an era that began. Maybe we have entered into the era of faithful fools, people who carry with them both the sense of what it is to be faithful, to have that fidelity. Because that's what I've always carried the word faithful as with Faithful Fools, meaning you hang in there even when it really seems too difficult. And then, of course, there's the foolish part. So you know, fools have been around a lot longer than the last century or the last millennia. You know, fools have been around since, well, long before Francis. And one of my favorite fools came about in the 1600s. You've maybe heard me talk about him, or maybe you've seen that I carry his picture on my arm. You've got a copy of that picture in your program, too. It's Don Quixote. And Don Quixote is this particular kind of fool, but he's not really a trickster. You know, tricksters and fools are often associated with each other. I identify much more with the fools in that family than the tricksters per se, but Don Quixote is my kind of fool because he's never really in contact with reality. It's helpful. There are certain moments when you're walking in the Tenderloin, it's kind of helpful to not be super in contact with reality. And by that, it's helpful to see the best that's around you. I remember a friend of mine said, you know, when I walk in the neighborhood, all I see on the ground is dog poop. And I thought, good Lord, look up. There is so much more in the Tenderloin than what's on the surface of the sidewalk. You know, well, Carmen will find a penny wherever she goes. In fact, I think there's somebody who's walking 17 feet in front of her dropping pennies because they're dropping everywhere. And as I follow behind her, I'm like, oh, there's one. Oh, it's a piece of gum. But, you know, I have faith in those pennies. And in the same way that Don Quixote does. Don Quixote is that guy who sees the best in everyone that he's around. He was an old man. I don't know if you really know the story, but he was an old man who woke up one morning and he said, this world is really, really in need of a hand. I am going to be the greatest knight that ever lived, and I am going to right all the wrongs, and I am going to make this a better world. That's a good kind of illusion to have, right? But he couldn't do it alone, so he went out into his field where there is Sancho, who was a very round fellow, who was also tended not to do his work at all. And he said, Sancho, my brave squire. And Sancho said, I'm afraid of horses. I cannot do this with you. But Don Quixote continued to say, no, you're brave and you're trustworthy. Come along and go with that. That's seeing the best in the moment, being able to believe in the better thing. It really comes in handy for fools. And when we started out this evening, Carmen said, well, we put together the program and everything else is sort of up for grabs. Well, I can tell you we have been working on this for quite a while, some number of, really months, maybe longer than that. And when we said, we wanted to talk a little bit about Don Quixote, our friend Selena, our fellow fool Selena said, my god brother T. Michael will sing it for you and he will raise the roof. And we were like, perfect. And you know, the plan was in place. T. Michael was on with us, excited to come. He was like if there was ever a faithful fool who didn't know he was a faithful fool, it's T. Michael. I mean, he is just our kind of guy. And he got on the plane, and the plane took off on time, and the plane landed safely, and he got here, and he got a good night's rest, and he was all ready, and he woke up in the morning and tested positive for COVID. And I'm thinking to myself, the whole evening. Everything I'm going to say is built around T. Michael. This is the prankster God working in our lives. And so, I was ready to be crushed. And I talked to T. Michael, and I talked to Carmen, and I talked to other people, and I thought, this is no reason to be crushed. No, because we have T. Michael in our hearts, and we have a community here that is willing to offer him a lot of healing energy and a lot of life and a lot of breath. And I told him, listen, you are here and we love you and we're going to do this one day. And he said, I am still going to sing for you. So do you know what he did? He sat up, straightened himself out, cleared his throat, and he gave us his own version of To Dream the Impossible Dream so we could listen to it together. And I'm going to tell you that is the story of faithful fools. When it seems impossible, when everything went along just fine until that last moment and you're ready to be crushed, the only thing you can do is pull together as a community and sing the song together, right? So I'm going to ask you in your program, you've got that picture of Don Quixote, but on the back are the words to the impossible dream. And T. Michael is going to lead us a little bit in that song, and Melanie's going to help us out in joining him, and we're going to take this and make it the most rousing version of the impossible dream because we really have to have impossible dreams that we believe in.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star.
This is my quest.
This is my
quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far,
to fight
for the right,
without question or
cause,
to be willing to march
to help for a heavenly cause. I know
if I
will only be true to this glorious quest,
then my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest, and the world will be better for this, that one man, strong and covered with scars, still strove
with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star. Yes!
Thank you, faithful fools, one and all. Thank you all. And thank you. Carmen, why don't you come up and say a few words of thank you as well? And we can can we turn up the lights a little bit so we can see all your faces?
I think they're up.
Oh, they are up.
It's dark outside. Hi, Maurice. So, was it okay? Thank you. To everybody. And at this moment, I'd like to call up our current team. So we have Linda and Leah and Selena. And Daisy, are you still here? Is Daisy in the house? I saw her walk in earlier. So, come on up, Selena. Where is she? No, that's not her. Okay. So the night is not over. We're going to have birthday cake and some food, and there's raffles, and we have Whole Fools store that is out there, that we have t-shirts. Oh, Sam. And some paintings that Maggie Brennan did that and there's picture taking, and it's just a night of being in community. So thank you, everybody. And Melanie, is there a song we're going to sing going out?
Stay right there. Come on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. So we gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared, and I'm scared too, but here I am, right next to you. So we gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. We gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put and lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love. And lead. Come on. With what? Love. Go out there and party.